There we go. Ahoy everyone, welcome aboard. I'll be your Captain Hillian today, along with...
Peace, mighty Lieutenant Rakir at your service.
And welcome back to Blast Brigade versus the Evil Legion of Dr. Cread, where, well, I had a feeling about this, but yeah, this confirmed it basically. There's a random chance of every of the heroes that we've unlocked to appear here in the main menu. Would have been a bit neat if they cycled between them maybe, but it's still nice as is.
Here's the thing. Maybe they begin one cycle as we unlock them.
Maybe. For now, to click the game for the controller to respond, or to affect it.
Wait, hold on. Look at the save file.
Yeah, 4 heads, or at least 2 heads and 2 silhouettes.
And the next one looks extremely familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be Scottish McScotland who is freed.
That has to be the Scotsman. No idea about the last one though, but that doesn't look like the pilot.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for someone with that hairstyle perhaps. But for now, we can continue. Last week we started with this game, and yeah, it proved to be as nice as I expected it to be from the showcase.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we started, I just noticed that they said that he said it was 1.1, a very low number. So this might be a game that only had maybe some minor hotfixes before release or after release.
Yeah, hotfixes are typically after.
Yeah, so we might be looking at a game that had minimum bug issues. This means they may have really worked long and hard to make it smooth as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, last time we started the game, we discovered how we are switching between characters, as in they are, well, the ones who aren't active are basically put into a quantum pocket. And then, hello Marco, how are you doing today?
Hello, Marco!
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I do kind of miss the time where we had games released very bug-free, or at least near bug-free. Like, I like the idea to be able to download a patch to fix them, just quick and easy. But I think we talked about this before. I feel like that option has become a
rarity.
I mean, yeah, they lean on it. Instead of using it as it probably intended, they just launch a game, we fix it later attitude instead. When it's supposed to be when it's unexpected bugs.
And oftentimes they don't even fix the make it functional.
Yeah, though in the past it was kind of worse since, like, when you release a game that you did not expect to have a sudden bug that appeared just because you printed on a floppy disk or a CD before you could use the internet, then you had to be lucky that you could go out on the internet and download it, or even earlier before that, hope you could get a floppy disk or another CD with the patches.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, be lucky you've got it as a bonus on a gaming magazine.
Yeah. Let's see. Marco, I'm okay playing Yakuza. Downloaded a mod that gives enemies 10 times health because I was bored.
Oh dear.
And yeah, we needed to do this. Okay. Now, yeah, that's what that did. Okay. Then we swapped to Shura, who has, there we go. Who has her grappling hook. And she refuses to give it up.
Oh yeah, basically, in some ways I do feel like we're in a better place. It's easier to fix a game.
But on the other hand, it's a lot more common that games just come out in completely broken states.
Yeah, with a pay for it now, maybe fix it later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe in some cases, like sometimes they just release a game so buggy they just run away. or don't bother fixing it.
Yeah. Anyways, before we go on, okay, can we get through that gap? Because there's clearly some trial over here. And I think I mentioned this last time, but no, I think we need a roll or something to get through that gap. I'm guessing we need to hit these things at a certain speed or something to have them, well, all be off at once or something. Maybe one of the other characters will have that ability. But yeah, there's way too many developers out there who just basically make a quote-unquote game and just run away with the money.
Yeah, but and we also have the case of they want to fix all the bugs as possible, but then they have the issue of the publisher rushing them.
Yeah.
This is many reasons why many games at times is even so with bugs to begin with. Even in old days, because of the publisher rushing the development.
Yeah. Okay. Luckily, as far as I know, just indie development and such doing a lot to, well, let developers do what they freaking want to do instead of being basically held hostage.
Yeah, I feel like many indie publishers have realized that you get a easier time to get a good profit when things are working as intended.
Yeah. A lot of publishers, to my limited knowledge, just care mostly about profit now and don't care if they burn down the house they live in, figuratively speaking, to get it. Whereas, well, the actual developers, they need to keep surviving to keep making games. And oftentimes, to my knowledge, most of the profits typically go to a publisher anyways. So for developers to go indie is just a win-win in general for them. It does get them less funding and such. If they manage to... Ooh. Okay. I did not expect those things to try and ground pound me.
Oh dear.
But yeah. It's harder to... Ooh. That's a landmine. It's harder to get something off the ground as an indie dev, but once you're basically got things running, I believe it is generally just for the better for everyone. Just look at Supergiant Games. I think they are self-published, and well, they've been doing great with Hades and such.
Yeah. So sometimes something like a Kickstarter will help, but again, when it comes to Kickstarters, is obvious a risk. You don't get enough funding, or people end up funding something that is likely a scam.
Yeah, and other times there's even people who will just put who will put forwards, or how to put it. There are people who basically say that they will support, but then afterwards just not have the money or withdraw to, well, deny the project the actual cash and such. So yeah, a lot of risks, but also more rewards.
Yeah, but I guess it also to explain the designs of indie games. Like many indie games don't really look like the AAA games.
Yeah,
but they don't come usually with a lot of charm and a lot of good style and all. Like many indie games still looks damn good.
Yeah. Okay, we can't shoot those. Oop. Oop. Okay. Accidentally ran into the arena. Nice little trick game. Yep.
And I also guess with the indie developers, they also focus more on
actually making a quality product.
Yeah, with what they got, and he. I don't know if this is an indie developer, but this is a good example. Still looks good. Is it old school? Yes. But it looks good, it runs well, and it's fun.
Yep. Yeah, there's also just a constant... quickly. Damn it. A lot of publishers, or at least AAA developers, are seemingly always just trying to make graphics more impressive and such without actually making it worth the amount of space that it takes up. Like I've seen screenshots of Black Ops 6, which is supposed to be coming out sometime soon or such. And yeah, apparently that game's supposed to be 400 gigabytes.
Oh, for love of... Yeah. I think that this is why people are more going towards indie for... like, sure, many people have still faster internet nowadays, but still, even 400 gigs will take a lot of time.
Yeah,
and if you're...
that's also just discounting that you basically need to have a hard drive specifically for that damn game then.
That as well. So now you have this of... You may have too slow internet speed that will take several days, and you may disturb everyone else using the internet at your home. And of course, disk space and the money and the bullshit known as Quad A.
Yeah, with Skull and Bones. That just shows that you should never trust a single word about anyone in management of a game, because they're more trained in marketing speak than anything actually to do with reality.
I'm unsure of that, for no one fell for it.
Yeah.
At least of the customers.
Just because they're familiar with it doesn't mean they're actually good with it.
Yeah. But and I think even why indie developers are on the rise for, they remember the old school games we all loved and why we love them. And they still innovate, but they don't do all the unnecessary things that will result in so many gigs. One outlier I would guess is will probably be Wildcard. I think they are kinda indie. Well, maybe they were indie until Snail Games got them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories around that, so I'm not gonna enter. But yeah, Ark is one of those that is definitely they didn't think through on how to do it. They wanted to look AAA, and they did just go massive, and a lot of things did not work as intended or just look awkward.
Yeah. Let's see, Marco, wasn't it 500 gigs? Maybe, but still that's just comparing a rotten apple with an even more rotten apple. And the current topic reminds me of EA with FIFA. Yeah, all of those sports games and such. That's where Angry Joe has been going on this for years. It's basically, with a lot of those big licensed sports games, they basically just re-release the same game with minor tweaks every year. In some cases, they've even been caught in the middle of that. Like that one of the quote-unquote current game still had textures and such from the previous game.
In a way,
as in specifically, they still found banners and such in the game which had the last year on it.
Bloody. In a way, I can respect that you recycle, improve the engine a lot. But when you're actually reselling it as a full game,
yeah, then it's basically a scam.
Yeah, when you do it like that, and it's not a release for an old game, and just a game for the last year, you just done that with, then you have to ask, why is this not just an update or a patch or pay DLC? Why is it sold as a new game for full price?
Then there you have it, full price.
Yeah, that's when I have a problem.
Yeah, I've never been much for sports games, but that even I can just identify that as just a complete and utter scam.
Yeah. Again, recycling, improve an old engine is fine, but when you are trying to trick people for something that it does, again, as I said, sounds more like an update and upgrade that should just cost less.
Yeah.
But no, they want a full price, if not even more.
Yeah, basically, the main problem with a lot of publishers and some developers, or generally the market in its entirety, is that basically they won't take they want all the money, not enough money to keep them going or such. They want all the freaking money in the entire world, and if they do not make that, then they consider, well, everything a failure. Which is,
yeah, this is...
well, you could have seen with, I can't name anything specific at the moment, but there were yeah, that's just games that did really freaking well, and then the studio gets closed because yeah, we want more money, and killing off a studio will ensure that we have less that we need to spend, even though if we kept them around, they could, well, make us a fuck ton more.
Yes.
It's basically, to put it in a maybe metaphorical way, it's basically eating all of your cake today and starving tomorrow, instead of just having a bit of cake every day for like a fucking month.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like EA and other companies has done that, and yeah, have you even heard that sometimes they just, due to they owning another game company's stock, just buy out the company and then fire everyone just to get rid of competition, which is despicable.
Yeah.
I think laws have been cracking down to make sure people are not allowed to do that in many countries, except in one, as I'm aware of. USA, if I remember right,
course.
still allow it.
Yeah, because in America, apparently guns have more rights than people. And I'm not even joking with that.
But yeah, again. But there may be some rotten apple indie studios, but there are many good good indie
that's a hell of
studios.
an impressive statue.
The heck?
Second only to Lady Liberty herself. Well, got some peepers on it, though. Can't help but feel like it's, staring into my soul.
What soul, Jeff?
Nah, no biggie, I'm sure.
I'm kind of expecting that New Game Plus will have like a translator function or something. That would be hilarious to just know what is being said. Legends of Zelda Wind Waker has something like that in New Game Plus as well. Anyways, before we continue, Marco, they were changing 10% more each new release, and it wasn't even that good. The graphics were not AAA type. The little tweaks were only adding loot boxes. Yeah, they even just were adding in stuff that they removed previously and called it a quote-unquote new feature. Marco, a good example of that is the studio that made Sunset Overdrive, but then was bought by Sony and just killed off. Yeah. Basically, in my opinion, publishers are an unnecessary middleman who basically eat most of the cake. Not always, of course, but there's definitely a ton of abuse going on with that. Like was it Revolver Digital? I forget the first word of it. They are a good publisher, but others like EA, Activision, and such, those can just go on out to sea in a leaky boat.
Yeah, another good one would be Coffee Stain, who is behind Valheim and Deep Rock. I think they are behind more games. I'm not sure we just play them or not.
Let's see. Marco, some are good, but most nowadays, yeah.
And now it talks! Very cool! Still probably fine.
Yeah, the Nile isn't just a river in Egypt, Jeff. Oh, it's stuck.
Okay, red means dead. Shura, didn't you speak the language? Talk to it.
Okay, lasers now as well.
I'm afraid this thing only understands one language. Leave it to me.
It's also the only language that Jeff understands. Violence.
Oh dear. Lost Guardian. Okay. Sega. I feel like they had a good reputation, but nowadays it's kind of mixed about Sega. Like they're doing good decisions, but also doing bad decisions as well.
It reminds me I still need to take a look at that last few Sonic games. Like Dream Team, I can't say I've heard anything too specific about it. Really? Ow. But nothing bad, too bad, nothing too good either, so I'll take that as decent news.
Yeah. But if Sega's a good company, I cannot say for... Again, the good and bad news coming from around them has been in equal measure, so it's kind of 50-50 as far as I know. It may be less greed, maybe more of a good idea and occasionally bad idea that goes backfire here and there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Again, from what I know, I don't hear too much drama about them. Mostly it involves layoffs. Again, what company doesn't do layoffs and rehiring? Is again probably a different kind of worms we should not enter for.
Yeah. I kind of like how this thing is just expressionless, which, well, it's a stone statue. It cannot emote anyways.
Unless you very good stonemation to make it eyebrows going up and down a little bit.
There we go, that's how we need to get past that. Good. Just dump a few of those into his shins. Okay, we're down to our last hit, but it's only halfway. Let's see. Let's see if we can win this. Dream Team is mobile only. Okay, that probably adds in on the lack of info on it. Like, not all mobile games are bad, or at least were. It's just that, well, the majority are. And then there's just so many half games, I'll call them. Basically just copies of copies of copies.
Yeah, and then we have those that are outright just scams, or in worst case scenarios, viruses.
Yeah.
And Dream Team 3 was not only on mobile, it's only on Apple Store.
Yeah, okay.
That's an example of a Sega doing a bad idea for... Yeah, not everyone has an Apple.
Yeah, just platform exclusivity is just dumb these days. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and that will probably be the dumbest, since most people will have a Switch or a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC, but an Apple, really? That, like... that feels like that's the worst exclusivity you could have made.
Yeah, it is typically done, but it's always done to drive sales of the consoles. But yeah, it's just still just a bad idea.
Yeah, this was sound more like it's free on Apple Store apparently.
I do believe there are/were a few Apple exclusive Castlevania games as well.
Let's hear from Marco. No, it's on Android, but it's not free. It's free on Apple Store. Okay. So
Just
they
in
wanted
time.
to. Okay, so Apple wanted people to buy more Apple phones and whatnot just to get a free game. Really? That?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what an example where Sega's done a bad. And I'm kind of surprised how they how they've been having rocky money as is. How would this feels like something that will make it worse?
Yeah, just idiots getting promoted instead of actually smart people. Kind of surprised that didn't count as a hit. Apparently its shoulders don't count. Yeah, I think many developers slash publishers think that with exclusivity they can get a lot more sales, but I think having something be cross-platform will actually give you a lot more sales because, well, there's a lot more. In some cases it doesn't really work because sometimes other consoles or such don't have the hardware to run something like, but that's more, I'd say that's more with handhelds like the 3DS and such.
Yeah, Switch is still impressive considering if you look at some of the latest Zelda games on Switch are surprisingly impressive that they work on a Switch. And some people have done successful ports over to it. Some. Apparently, the issue with the Switch is not the easiest console to port over to with some games.
Yeah, we've seen a few examples of that, of just the Switch version being very downgraded.
Oh,
So sorry for not responding to chat, but I kind of need to focus on the boss.
Yeah, like I said, I think the worst one I've heard has been Art on Switch, which I wonder if this is apparently fixed, but it's basically a different game at this point. I'm still confused how they even like. We both know how big Arc is. How would they? Why put it over to a Switch? It's beyond me. It sounds like a way too big game.
Yeah, the Switch is still really good for what it does, but it still has limitations with its processor and storage and such.
Yeah.
Which is even noticeable in the last two Zeldas. But they are coming out with an upgraded version this year, I believe, or at least that was rumored to be.
You mean the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Because I think it might be an entire new console, but yeah, I feel like I heard so people seem to talk about in what to do, but seem to hint that Nintendo may have observed the other consoles and decided to not go all ham on the tech. Since it was a little bit, but I can agree that Xbox has been very underwhelming, apparently. Not many buy it. And PlayStation 5, while good, has another problem. Was hard to buy. But they were always out of stock and all that.
Yeah, that was more scalpers. But though, just not making enough production, that can also be, yeah, that should also be pointed out when it is the fault of the developers and such.
Yeah, and the reason Switch is probably haven't had too much issues. It has been, well, it's not too expensive and it's good for the price.
Ah, damn it.
Or rather, surprisingly good for its price.
Okay. This guy,